The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara addressed the Buddha and said, "World-honored one, why are all the favorable results and maturations of the perfections inexhaustible?" The Buddha answered the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara and said, "Good son, this is so because, dependent one upon the other, these perfections are cultivated without interruption." The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara addressed the Buddha and said, "World-honored one, why do the Bodhisattvas in faith pursue the perfections, but not the agreeable rewards resulting from them?" The Buddha answered the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara and said, "Good son, there are 5 reasons. First, it is the perfections and not their rewards that are the causes for the highest joy and happiness. Secondly, it is the perfections that are the causes for the highest benefit for oneself and for others. Third, it is the perfections that are the causes for the maturation of favorable results in future times. Fourth, the perfections are the support for the negation of all defilement. Fifth, the perfections are beyond all change." The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara addressed the Buddha and said, "World-honored one, what are the august qualities of each of these perfections?" The Buddha answered the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara and said, "Good son, you should understand that each of the perfections has 4 august qualities. First, when one cultivates these perfections correctly, one becomes capable of abandoning their opposites: stinginess, laxity, exasperation, idleness, distractions, and false meanings. Second, when one cultivates them correctly, one becomes capable of accumulating the true requisites for unexcelled supreme awakening. Third, when one cultivates them correctly, even in the present world, one becomes capable of encompassing within oneself benefit for sentient beings. Fourth, when one cultivates them correctly, one becomes capable of attaining inexhaustible, favorable results from their maturation in the future." The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara addressed the Buddha and said, "World-honored one, what is the cause, the result, and the benefit of these perfections?" The Buddha answered the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara and said, "Good son, the cause of these perfections is great compassion. Their result is wondrous, favorable maturation and the assisting of sentient beings. The benefit is that fully perfected and expansive great awakening." The Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara addressed the Buddha and said, "World-honored one, if the Bodhisattvas are endowed with inexhaustible riches, and if they are most compassionate, then how can there be poor sentient beings in this world?" The Buddha answered the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara and said, "Good son, it is because the very actions of sentient beings are sinful. If this were not so, then how would there be poverty in the world? For the Bodhisattvas always cherish the mind to benefit others, and they are indeed endowed with inexhaustible riches. There would be no poverty if sentient beings did not set up obstacles by their own actions. The bodies of hungry ghosts are oppressed by a great thirst, but even if they encounter the waters of the great sea, still they will remain parched. This is not the fault of that great sea. It is the fault of the actions of those hungry ghosts themselves. Similarly, the riches to be given by the Bodhisattvas, like the sea, are not at fault. Rather, like those hungry ghosts, the force of evil actions deprives sentient beings of the fruits of the Bodhisattva's compassion.